Right now it's 6. An unusually warm winter is keeping snowplows and salt off the streets, and local officials say it's helping their budgets.
And dog breeders in Winona County may have to set up shop somewhere else.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Eau Claire police have arrested 6 people for a conspiracy to deliver drugs, including fentanyl. The arrests come after an 18-month-long investigation with the West Central Drug Task Force, according to the Eau Claire police. Investigators say the drug ring used the Postal Service to ship drugs to multiple addresses in the region. Over the course of the investigation, authorities seized about $250,000 worth of drugs. Police say this is one of the largest fentanyl networks ever investigated in the region. They add that at least one overdose death in the area is linked to the fentanyl sold. 2 of the people arrested have also been federally indicted on charges related to illegal drug delivery.
The man accused of trespassing at the La Crosse airport intends to plead not guilty by insanity. 32-year-old Cody Anderson is accused of making terroristic threats and attempted armed robbery with threat of force. Now, a recent mental health report for Anderson said he was eligible to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. That's according to court records. Cornell University says that is when a defendant claims that they're so mentally disturbed at the time of an offense that they don't have the required intention to commit the crime and are therefore not guilty. No one in court contested the results of the recent report. Anderson's next court date is April 1st for a plea hearing. He's currently in custody on a $500,000 cash bond.
The Assembly has one more day to decide whether to advance a bill that battles forever chemicals. The Assembly has its final floor session of the current legislative window tomorrow. It will take up a bill that the Senate passed in November that creates grants to help municipalities test for the harmful chemicals known as PFAS. Democrats have criticized it because it limits the DNR's ability to force landowners to clean up PFAS contamination.
Would allow the process to move forward, but there's no enactment that can take place. Before the Department of Natural Resources can move forward with any type of enactment, there needs to be additional legislative review. And I understand the need for legislative review, but I also understand the fact that the people in French Island have been drinking bottled water for 3+ years, and they're asking for us to get something done.
The bill says in part that the DNR would need landowner permission to test water for PFAS, and the DNR would be on the hook for cleanup where the polluter is either not known or can't pay. Governor Evers has reportedly told the Green Bay Republicans behind the Senate bill that the GOP doesn't want to hold polluters accountable and that Republicans should, quote, get serious about fighting the forever chemicals. It's unlikely Evers would sign the bill as is.
In the meantime, PATH and Assemblywoman Jill Billings have introduced a bill that would allow the DNR to set limits on PFAS in state groundwater, but that's unlikely to speed through this session.
Lawmakers in the state Senate reaching their first hurdle in trying to change how law enforcement notifies the public when a child goes missing. Senators unanimously approved a bipartisan bill that would reform the state's Amber Alert system to include more children. The motivation behind the effort comes after the tragic deaths of Lily Peters, a 10-year-old from Chippewa Falls, and a 5-year-old Prince McCree from Milwaukee. Police were unable to issue Amber Alerts because Peters and McCree did not meet the state's strict criteria, and this bill would change that. In order for the bill to reach the governor's desk, it still has to pass the Assembly, but the co-authors of the bill say it faces some opposition in that chamber. The Senate's approval comes after a 3-year-old boy from Manitowoc County was declared missing yesterday.
Well, unseasonably warm temperatures have left one winter staple off the roads. Not snow, but salt.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit has the breakdown. Allison.
Ken and Emily, local municipalities and La Crosse County have used their salt and their snowplows way less than usual this winter, and that's led to some long-term and short-term savings. One official with La Crosse County says they've used about 20 to 25% less of their salt. 20 to 25% of their total salt. And at this point, typically, the county's only gone through 50% of their salt. So if the winter keeps up like this, it could lead to potentially $100,000 in savings for next year, since they would need to only order about half of the salt that they usually have to. And it's not just resource costs that are being cut. Local municipalities say they're paying less in labor costs as well.
We are saving on overtime. We have overtime expenses, and obviously we're not having to be in early or late to be plowing snow.
county and city employees are still staying busy, focusing on other projects like removing brush and street sweeping. Wisconsin weather is unpredictable, so we could still see some March and April snowstorms. But because longer days means more sun, pavement will be staying warmer for longer, which makes it easier to fight a snowstorm. So for now, the salt and the snow plows are going to be staying put until they're needed next. Ken and Emily?
Allison Ferget live in the field. Thank you, Allison. And I gotta say, it's been a while since I've even grabbed my shovel in the in the
I
garage.
don't own a shovel.
I think it's got cobwebs because it's been so long.
Because it's been so warm and 50s and sunny, but
Yeah.
it looks like we do have a cold front coming, a slight one this week.
Yeah, can you remember what that is? It's
Yeah.
shovel too.
Yeah, I think.
Now, Allison was incorrect. You know, weather is predictable to a certain point. So,
Okay.
but we have really good conditions here for probably the next 4 to 5 days. We do have a brief cool down coming for Friday, but all in all, it's still going to be mild conditions like we had today. We're in the 50s once again, and we have high clouds out there in La Crosse, but both cities are still in the 40s, and overall high temperatures, once again, 50s, pretty much area-wide, even 61 all the way down to Boscobel. And of course, that is 25 to 30 degrees above average, what we should be this time of year, which is in the low 30s typically. Current temperatures are still in the mid-40s to around 50. Coldest spot, Black River Falls at 38. Overall, we do have some weak systems coming through the flow. Nothing is really that strong, but we do have some cloud cover that is tracking across the area, and that's what we're going to see at least for southern areas this evening and about midnight. Maybe a sprinkle, but a lot of that to the south is just not reaching the ground. Otherwise, it's still going to be a very mild evening. Cloud cover a little bit more thicker as you go in La Crosse, getting down to 38. And same story for Eau Claire, but less in the way of cloud cover, still getting down to about freezing at 11 p.m. Now, we do have some changes coming up. We have a brief cool down. Winter comes back for maybe a day. And then we have some conditions improving for the weekend. And then, yeah, next week we do have some changes on the way, including wet conditions. And we might have to see that S word again, snow maybe.
All right, so I might need my shovel.
You still might need it. Just keep
I
it
might need to
handy.
buy one.
Don't throw it away. Just keep it handy.
Thanks, Greg. Well, a proposed ordinance in Winona County would ban new licenses for dog breeders after experts testified before the county board that many breeding practices leave lasting mental impacts on adult dogs. But an outright ban on breeding operations isn't as easy as it may seem.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall explains. Jeremy.
Emily, licensing for dog breeders in Winona County falls under the county's zoning ordinance, which typically considers things like land use and noise abatement instead of animal welfare when granting licenses, meaning a ban on new breeders could be tricky. Despite the challenge, county commissioners are moving forward with a plan. Ann Joria doesn't mince words when asked about the idea of banning new licensed dog breeding facilities in Winona County.
The way that breeders breed, the business model, is inhumane and outdated due to the way that the number of dogs that they have.
During a recent county board meeting, commissioners voted 3-0 to pursue banning new licensed breed operations. Animal behavior experts testify the facilities leave negative mental impacts on the dogs, resulting in behavioral and emotional issues.
The adults breed the dogs, have the dogs that are sent to pet stores and sold, and the adults are kept in cages for years without socialization, exercise, and love. They're not treated as pets. They're treated as a commodity for the breeders to make money.
Commissioner Greg Olson is a dog owner. He hopes the board can move forward banning new dog breeding facilities in Winona County.
This is a good thing for Winona County. It has been shown nationwide that the sentiment towards dog breeding facilities is changing. So this is a nationwide effort. So it's about the dogs.
In addition to banning new licenses, the board is considering making changes for existing breeders.
Animals will have to be socialized more, interact more, and that is something that is currently right before the state legislature.
There will be several public hearings before a ban can take place. And guys, Winona County is currently home to a dozen licensed breeding facilities, some housing more than 80 animals. Ken and Emily?
All right, thank you, Jeremy. U.S. versus Russia. 2 Americans charged with espionage are looking at jail time.
What those sentences could look like after the break.
So you missed the boat show. Come to Holman Marine this weekend and see a larger selection of new and used boats than what was at the boat show. Hundreds of new and used boats and motors. Trade-ins are welcome. This weekend at Holman Marine on Holman Drive.
Garbage day! Here you go.
Russell! I swear I've been seeing you everywhere.
I've been busy.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's window and door replacement experts. Our superior quality, energy-saving windows and doors from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen are skillfully installed by certified technicians and backed by some of the strongest transferable warranties available. Save up to 22% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. Brought to you by Asher Lasting Exteriors.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
So you missed the boat show. Come to Holman Marine this weekend and see a larger selection of new and used boats than what was at the boat show. Hundreds of new and used boats and motors. Trade-ins are welcome. This weekend at Holman Marine on Holman Drive.
2 American citizens charged with espionage face more than 20 years in a Russian jail if convicted.
This comes as tensions between the two countries are running high over the war in Ukraine and the latest death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
An amateur ballerina who lives in Los Angeles was arrested last month in Russia and is facing charges of espionage. Russia's Federal Security Service says Ksenia Catalina was raising money for a Ukraine charity, something Russia considers treason. Catalina is a dual citizen, but the U.S. State Department has not been able to get in and see her.
We will continue to try to work to free those American citizens who we have determined to be wrongfully detained, and we will continue to call on humane treatment for everyone.
U.S. Ambassador Lynn Tracy did get to meet with Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, who is also charged with espionage. He was in court Tuesday and ordered to remain in jail until his trial next month.
No American citizen should consider traveling to Russia for any reason. Period, because they are at risk of detention.
Americans are in Russian custody at a time where tensions between the two countries are on the rise, especially following the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny while in prison. Catalina's former mother-in-law says she's afraid what happened to Navalny may happen again.
We know it wasn't just a death, it was a murder.
Former President Donald Trump was asked about Navalny's death during a Fox News town hall.
Navalny is a very sad situation, and he's very brave.
He compared Navalny's legal custody to his own legal problems.
I got indicted. I never heard of being indicted before. I got indicted 4 times. I have 8 or 9 trials.
During a campaign stop in California, President Biden slammed Trump for failing to condemn Russian President Vladimir Putin for Navalny's death. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Now, the Biden administration says it will issue strong new sanctions against Russia on Friday for both Navalny's death and continuing the war in Ukraine.
Broadening students' horizons.
State officials are celebrating Westby's range of programs that help high schoolers narrow down their true passions.
So why we see so many 50s, even 60s lately? Well, there's no snow on the ground, so that allows the temperature to warm up quite nicely. In fact, it's going to continue despite a cool down Friday, but we do have some rain or snow potentially next week in the forecast. I'll break all that down coming up next on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
At Bygoff and Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. Bygoff and Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
In 2001, my father established La Crosse Fireplace Company. Since then, our family has had the privilege of helping families create a warm gathering place in their home. Today, my brother Jeremy and I are the second generation to carry on the values and traditions that was started 23 years ago. Whether it's a remodel or a new installation, La Crosse Fireplace Company looks forward to serving you for many years to come. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Want to see a magic trick? Taco John's is turning your dollar into mouth-watering favorites with the new BOGO for a Buck menu. Get a signature Taco John's item, then add another for just $1. Abracadabra, yeah! The new BOGO for a Buck menu, only at Taco John's.
What I love about T-Mobile is that just about anywhere you go, you're going to have coverage.
Where I live is a rural area. The coverage has been awesome.
Reliable coverage is super important for me, for my business.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
7-day-old tuna casserole.
How'd you know that?
Even my nose is strong. You need Hefty Ultra Strong. It has Arm & Hammer, continuous odor control. Hefty, Hefty, Hefty. Oh, and Toby needs a bath. Stay one step ahead of Stinky.
It's the Hy-Vee BOGO sale this Friday through Sunday. Buy one, get one free on Blue Bunny frozen desserts. Buy one, get one free on marinated pork loin fillets or tenderloins. Buy one, get one free on Doritos. Buy one, get one free on 7-Up 6-packs. Buy one, get one free on Hy-Vee potato chips. And buy one, get one free on Hy-Vee cottage cheese. Don't miss the Hy-Vee BOGO sale this Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
Wisconsin State Superintendent is visiting Westby to celebrate Career and Tech Ed Month. Jill Underly met today with high schoolers and educators who are involved in programs that set kids up for future careers. Underly says Westby offers so many apprenticeships and programs like culinary, ag, health science, that it helps kids learn more about careers they didn't even know existed. She and the students agree that exposure helps kids understand what they do and don't like so that they can leave high school with a plan.
This academy helps me narrow down my fields of interest and what I would like to do further on in my life.
We have shortages in so many different things. When I look at nursing and the healthcare field, for example, knowing that Westby High School is turning out so many CNAs to go into our local economy, I mean, that's benefiting all of us.
Case in point, one senior in the Health Science Academy says she'd initially considered a pre-dental journey, but she's now found a bigger passion in nuclear medicine technology. Go figure.
Well, yeah.
It's quite a change, right?
That is quite a change.
But broadening horizons.
Right, exactly. Maybe they have a nice meteorology program. They can learn. They can learn what Greg does.
Come be an apprentice for Greg Barnhart.
Right, exactly. And in the words of Greg Barnhart, it looks like Old Man Winter may be waking our way again at the end of this week.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a taste of winter. It's just going to be like one day Friday, and even that's not going to be a big taste of it. It's just going to be temperature's going to drop back down. But another indicator of how warm it's been is the number of 50-degree days. Yesterday we did the 40 degrees, and we did overall winter. But you see 13 for right now for La Crosse. We're probably going to break it. We only need about a couple more, and we'll have that here by the end of next week. Eau Claire's already broke their record too. So once again, another indication. Later at 10, I'll kind of break down how many days we've had with temperatures below zero, which obviously it hasn't been that many either for this winter. But for tonight, we're just looking at more cloud covers. You go further south, there's a weak little system passing to the south. You might see a sprinkle, but that'll be about it. Further north you go, less in the way of cloud cover. As you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have partial clearing skies tomorrow morning. We'll wake up with upper 20s to low 30s. Once again, very common to what we saw the last couple mornings. Throughout the day, we'll see more sunshine, a slight turn in the winds, a little bit more west-northwest, a little bit increase in the winds, but overall temperatures will look fairly similar, low to mid-50s in the afternoon for most locations. And tomorrow evening, clearing skies, but we are tracking a cold front that's going to be coming through probably late Thursday night, early Friday morning. By after midnight, it should pass through Ladysmith. We'll see increasing clouds towards the morning commute. maybe a flake of snow, especially as you go further north throughout today, Friday, but I think a lot of people won't see that. The one thing you will notice is the winds, although the north, a little bit more breezy, and also the temperatures. Looking at these temperatures at noon, we're in the mid-30s. We might top off in the upper 30s further south. Further north you go, potentially not reaching freezing, which is not far off from average, but still a little bit above. And then for the weekend, we're not seeing much in the way of any impactful weather. We'll see some breezy conditions Saturday, a little bit less wind Sunday, so temperatures could probably get up into the 50s again. And then for Monday, Tuesday, we're tracking that system that comes out of the plains. A lot of question marks in regards of timing of when it comes through regarding rain or snow. But look at these temps. We should definitely be close to 60 come Monday and potentially Tuesday before it gets wet. And then we'll see maybe a transition to some snow come some point Tuesday into Wednesday. This could all change, but for right now, this is kind of what we're looking. It's getting a little bit more unsettled. Winds will start definitely picking up, but we will at least potentially see maybe some record warm temperatures before it actually hits, and a little bit of snow as we go on the backside of the system through Wednesday, wrapping up by the time we get to Thursday. So more details will come on that as we get closer to it. But in the meantime, for tonight, very similar story. Upper 20s, low 30s, cloud cover at least this evening, clearing more as you go through tomorrow morning. Temperatures tomorrow, very similar to today, maybe a little bit more wind out there. And then as we go through Friday, you'll see that drop back out into the upper 30s, maybe a little colder in some areas with a few flurries. And then we kind of flip for another unimpactful weekend. And then things get a little bit more interesting coming next week. But we could see 60s, obviously, before the rain hits.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the V-Hawks tipping off the conference tournament tonight at home. Plus, the West Salem Co-op has some unfinished business when it comes to the state gymnastics tournament. Ladies looking for a state title this go-around. Rob is next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
What? I'm in love with whoever made this country fried steak. Can I borrow a pen?
Love letter.
5 meals for under $10. Only at Perkins.
Blain's Farm and Fleet's big pet care sale is going on now, and that means huge savings on the food, treats, and supplies you need to help keep your pets happy and healthy. Right now, get a free $15 Blain's gift card when you spend $75 on Purina Pro Plan dog or cat food. Pro Plan uses advanced nutrition to create targeted formulas that help your unique pets thrive as they age and develop. So shop our assortment today and find the right Pro Plan formula for your dog or cat at Blain's Farm and Fleet.
This is Ford Truck Month with amazing offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks. Make way for the event that only comes around once a year, featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. Get ready and get to Ford Truck Month. Now get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus up to $2,000 in total savings on a 2023 Ford F-150 XLT, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Don't settle with the insurance company until you've talked with Schwabel, Getz, and Sieben.
I felt so special. I felt that I was going to be their #1 client.
I just got a great peace of mind knowing that I wasn't a case number, that we're doing this together.
We really did feel like we had a team behind us.
I was really impressed with how they treated us. They were backing us up 100%.
They always have your best interest in mind.
Go to Schwabel.com and fill out a free online case evaluation. There is no fee unless we win.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Waterworks. For more than 30 years, American Waterworks has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
The West Salem Co-op gymnastics team had a phenomenal run last season, finishing as the state runner-up. The girls used that experience as fuel. They went right back to work this season. Now the group is looking to finish what it started. One word to sum up this team so far this season is dominant. The girls have not lost a meet this year, and West Salem is ranked first in the state. All 7 girls on the squad have state tournament experience, but now this group is focused on taking care of some unfinished business from last season. The girls, as well as the coaching staff, feel their experience on the big stage plays an important role in helping this team believe they can get the job done this time around.
I would say we're very confident. This team is undefeated this season, and so they have done very well. They go in very relaxed for every single meet, which makes them perform even better. And state is the ultimate goal at the end of the season, and so, you know, hopefully we will meet that on Saturday.
We just enjoy it in the moment. We have a lot of fun. Our team's really close and we all know each other, so we just always try to have a good time.
Everybody in the gym has been doing gymnastics for multiple years, and I think that really contributes to how well we do for high school. I'd say that we're really confident. We've been working really hard, and I think this is our strongest year for like the past few years. We're like really confident. We're ready.
We'll see just how ready they are come Saturday. The girls will host their sectional meet this weekend as the team tries to get back to the state tournament. On the college hardwood tonight, the Viterbo women's basketball team will open up the NSAA conference tournament at home. V-Hawks will take on Bellevue tonight in the conference tournament quarterfinals. Viterbo finished the regular season with a record of 6-6 against conference opponents. V-Hawks split their two matchups with Bellevue this season, each team winning on its home court. But Viterbo got the victory earlier this month. We'll see if the V-Hawks can use that as fuel tonight. I'll have the highlights coming up at 10. As for the men, they'll be on the road. They open up conference tournament tonight in, is that North Dakota? South Dakota. In South Dakota against Dakota State. Thanks, Ken. Good to have you here. Some Dakota experience.
Save the day.
That's that.
What part of South Dakota is that?
Southeast, if I remember correctly. Okay. Madison, South Dakota. I think I'm on a roll right now. This is from my North Dakota knowledge from my first market out of
So you feel a little loyalty towards Dakota State tonight? How do you feel?
Oh, not at all. Not
at
all.
So you're all in on the V-Hawks.
All in on the V-Hawks.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah, me, V-Hawks. Yeah.
Love
there
that.
we go. Thanks, Rob.
Let's get it.
Okay. We'll be right back after this.
Stories are told on our Instagram at WKBT News 8. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
We've done many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
News 8 Now and the Co-op Credit Union are taking part in Chase the Chill.
Chase the Chill is a project across North America that provides warm clothing to people in need. Scarves, hats, and gloves are hung on trees in parks with notes attached to them, letting people know they can take them.
Co-op Credit Union and our community are conducting our own Chase the Chill campaign from December through February.
Together, we can keep our community warm this winter.
Donations will be accepted at the Co-op Credit Union location in Alaska.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
All right, tonight, more clouds this evening, a little partial clearing after night, but once again, similar story. Upper 20s, low 30s for both locations, so very mild for February. Tomorrow, we're going to see a little bit more in the way of wind, but I think overall temperatures will be pretty similar, mid-50s or low 50s, depending on location. There's your colder temperatures coming Friday with a few flurries, still above average, and then weekend looks good, and next week it's a little bit more interesting.
Okay. 60s is headed our way.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 6.
We'll see you at 10.